there, YouTubes. Welcome back. It's been a while since I posted anything on this channel. I kind of had a little bit of a rough year. Some good stuff happened too. There's just been a lot going on. Haven't been able to focus or really even think about having a YouTube channel. But it's a new year, and so I have a new goal to post more often. My original goal was to actually post something every week, even if it's just like a 5-minute rant or ramble about something that's I'm thinking about that week. We're already well into January, and this is my first time sitting down and recording anything, and so that goal might have been a little ambitious. But that's okay. I'm still going to try to get stuff out when I can, and today just felt like the right day. Besides what I want to talk about today, I actually need to update something, so I need to talk about it now so I can update it. And what we're talking about today is this thing. Now, you're probably wondering what the heck this is. Probably doesn't help that it's reversed from the way that I'm filming it, but this is how I tracked my acceptances and rejections for the 100 rejection challenge, which is a challenge that I do every year. As you can see, I got one acceptance this year, which isn't a lot, which is kind of depressing sometimes. However, it was a very good story. It was published by Bards and Sages Quarterly. I'm going to include a link down below in the description so you can go check it out if it sounds something interesting. Obviously, there's a lot of other good stories in the journal. The one that's from me is called The Mutineers of Starvation, and it is one of my favorite stories I've ever written. I am biased because I wrote it, obviously, but Bards and Sages Quarterly liked it too, and it's basically adorable lesbians defending a homestead in space Australia. So check it out if you get a chance. That was my one acceptance in 2023, and as you can see, I got 33 rejections out of 100, which isn't bad actually. That's actually a third of the way. I think that's one of the most I've ever gotten because I've actually tried to do this every single year. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, LS, why would you be striving for 100 rejections? Shouldn't you be striving for 100 acceptances? I mean, yes, but to be honest, 100 acceptances would basically be godlike tier of writing abilities, writing time, and I don't have any of that stuff. I just have the mere mortal ability of writing. So the idea of 100 rejections is far more realistic than 100 acceptances. And in addition to that, when you are putting stuff out, when you put out that much material, the odds are that something gets accepted boosts up way higher. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? That's the whole idea behind it, is you just put stuff out there. You're going to get rejected a lot, but you know what? There's a better chance that you'll get something accepted. And that is something I believe in wholeheartedly. It's something that has been working for me quite well because a lot of the things that I've sent out wouldn't have gotten accepted if I didn't send it out. And I wouldn't have sent it out if I wasn't trying to meet this goal, basically, of just sending out as much as I can, taking in all the rejections, letting them just wash right over me and celebrating the acceptances. So that's the idea behind the 100 rejection challenge. You just send stuff out. It may get rejected, but you know what? That's okay because that means you're still sent it out. And that's the thing too. Another thing with the writing industry is that it's all about finding the right person at the right time. So even though you get one story rejected by one journal or publication, doesn't mean that somebody else is going to reject it too. There are so many stories that I have just felt so tempted to give up on, and then I would send it to a journal and they'd come back being like, hey, we want to publish this story. You know, it's all hit and miss. It's all about who you know being in the right place at the right time, getting the right story in the hands of the right editor at the right time. And the 100 rejection challenge is just encouraging you to put more stuff out there, to get more acceptances, and to challenge yourself to send things to places that you might not have otherwise thought would accept the story. Like I do have a story with the Saturday Evening Post, actually, which is, you know, it's a very well-known name. It's a journal that's been around forever. So that was really super exciting. And the story I sent them, I'll also link that down below because I also really enjoy that one. It's called The Alley. And it's about a a young girl who finds a dark absence of space inside the alley behind her house, and just kind of like exploring it and things like that. And it's a really bizarre, surrealist, fabulous type of story that I'm like a journal, like the Saturday Evening Post. Like when I think about that, I think of Norman Rockwell. You know, I think more of Norman Rockwell than I do the fact that they also published Edgar Allan Poe. You know, so they're into these stories like this, but I didn't think about that at the time. I just sent it in because, you know what, it's worth a try. Let's give it a try, and they've accepted it. You know, so you never know unless you try, unless you put it out there. And unless you're able to take in those 100 rejections and accept them, then the likelihood of getting a handful of acceptances as a result lessens. I've already got 3. I've already got 3 rejections to put on this board for 2024. So I am off to a great start. No acceptances yet, but we'll keep our breaths held and find out. So tell me what you think about the 100 rejection challenge. If you think it is something that is a good idea, do you think it's something that wouldn't work for you? Do you have other challenges that you are into that help inspire you to get your writing out there, to get them to journals and things like that? I am going to work on more videos too, just to kind of give you guys a little heads up, a little peek into what I'm going to be working on. I know I want to do a 2023 book list of the books I read and going over them like I did for 2022, because I really enjoyed making that video. It was a lot of fun. I also kind of want to start doing more deep dives into books. So if you have any suggestions of any books you'd like me to check out, please leave those in the comments. I know there is one book that I really disliked from 2023 that I am potentially considering rereading and doing a very deep dive on all the things I did not like about it, why I felt it didn't work, and just kind of like I said, do a deep dive into it, and maybe even start up some controversy. Who knows? Because I know some people can be very passionate about their favorite books and the books they liked and the books they didn't. It's an older book, so it's not like a new book. It's not like something from Book Talk or anything like that, although I might try to venture that way eventually, but it is a scary place. Oh my goodness. But if you do have any Book Talk books that you would recommend that I either hate read or read because you genuinely enjoyed them, I would love to hear about it, because I'm not on TikTok. I hear most about Book Talk stuff from YouTube, actually. So listen, I'm going to be 40 this year. I'm going to come right out there with that age. I am an elder millennial. I am too old to be making YouTube videos, and yet here we are. So TikTok is a little intimidating. I'm not going to lie. Maybe one day I'll check it out. But right now, I think I'm okay with YouTube. So yeah, books that I read in 2023 coming up. Possibly a deep dive on a book I really hated, and I have not disliked a book this much and this long, so it could be a real ride. I also want to talk about when I do get an acceptance. I want to really celebrate it here on the channel and talk about it. I've got video game stuff. I will always talk about that stuff. You guys will discover what I want to talk about on this channel. I'm just trying to fill up the runtime now, to be honest. There's only so much you can say about a 100 rejection challenge, other than the fact that I'm really excited, the fact that I have 3 already. And when you have that perspective of just, I have 3 rejections, it's going to be a good year. It's such an interesting headspace, but I really recommend people rearrange their brains to kind of see rejections as, you know what, I tried. That's what counts. And obviously when you do try to send stuff out, you want to try to find places where your stories will be good fits, but you never know. You could really surprise yourself. Like the Saturday Evening Post one really surprised me. I've had a story show up in the very last issue of the Tishman Review that I had sent out to so many places. I had also sent a lot of stories to the Tishman Review that got rejected. So I was just like, you know what? It's, I'm going to give it a try. Why not? And they accepted it. So it was a really nice surprise. Maybe I'll link that one down below too. This is just basically turned into me advertising some of the journals that I have been published in. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Because this year, there's going to be a lot more, hopefully. And yeah, only 97 rejections to go. Wish me luck. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully it will be